Hello, I'm Tan the Tan BOTC channel, and of course, Cyberpunk would frickin' make its way to frickin' Fortnite. This I've already talked about in depth. Once again, keep in mind if you like Fortnite, that's fine. I think the game is like too heavy in the punk side of things, just like what Manly Reviews has been talking about. And I think the aesthetic is really weak in Cyberpunk for something that's meant to be more imaginative, something we can escape to in this cool, like, cyberpunk universe. It's one of the lamest cyberpunk universes, in my opinion. I've done, I've talked about the aesthetics when I did this video here, Cyberpunk 2077 versus Edgerunners, and of course Bethesda games. I threw that one in last because I knew people wouldn't probably take it seriously. But really, when I compare it to, not only I compared it to the Edge Runners freaking anime because it was freaking so weak. It's aesthetic. You have characters that have to have the swooped over on one side hair. The clothing is generic that characters have. Almost every, like, once again, even the main character was advertised with that same swooped over on one side hair. The freaking just tank top. It's just clothes we would wear in real life. Why don't we get like the other, like the arts, the concept art or art that other people have done and such? Like these two are probably the most unique looking character in the universe, but there's just not much more beyond that. And of course, the villain, which we barely see, what's his name? Atom Smasher? He's barely even in the freaking game. They just did not try hard enough. Even the anime tried harder with its aesthetic and look because it's a freaking anime. It has a lot of color and it just pops out. The only part that pops out for me is the freaking city in Cyberpunk, but that's the look of it, not any of the feel. I went in depth on this freaking thing. And then I looked at the clothes options. Just take, for example, the samurai outfits. This entire game advertises samurai stuff, and Samurai is its logo, its freaking catchphrase of Wake the Frick Up Samurai, Samurai Jackets, Samurai Colas for Rockstar Energy. Yeah, that is a freaking thing. And it's just in the game when you have actual samurai armor, actual samurai gear, it looks like the freaking tip of a penis helmets with freaking no, the only thing being color variants. The clothing options are so freaking boring, like you can't even fashion souls this crap. But when you look at like the aesthetic of other freaking games, like freaking when I go into, where is it? When I go into Fallout and such, there's so much better aesthetic and such to the armor sets, the pieces, to the weapons. And I will say that the weapons at least try a little harder in Cyberpunk, but still, it has a lot of the problems. Even like I felt frickin' Salt Factory talked about with frickin' Outer Worlds and such. They just don't have much like rare weapon types. This game, of course, is going to have infinite. Yes, Fallout 4 frickin' sucks when it comes to the dialogue wheel and such. I mean, honestly, Cyberpunk has color coded dialogue like it thinks you're a frickin' child. But still, from the yellow dialogue being the dialogue that basically is telling you this is how you progress, to the blue dialogue being like, oh, this is just ask more questions, but it's going to come back round to the yellow and blue, other blue dialogue, so it's just something extra. But it just does not try hard enough. Frickin' Fallout, even Skyrim, like you can't tell me like the Daedric armor and stuff don't look frickin' creative and interesting. Like they at least try harder with the aesthetic and stuff. I'm going into the like the wikis and stuff and looking into this crap, and it's just freaking a boring ass game in my opinion. One of the weakest games aesthetically. And then I went over things with watching the YouTubers I felt still have good points, while the glitch parts, though they don't focus much on the glitch parts of the game, that was the past, they at least focus on the aspects that people are overlooking that are problems with the game, whether it's with the story, the characters, whatever it may be. and I went through beat 'em ups. I brought my points out and such. I went through Manly Reviews video. Where is his? I think he did take there's Manly Reviews stuff and what he went through, and I would cut in and interject, add my own points. And then we watched Actman's. Actman's video still holds up because he already made a separate video on the glitches. This video is more about like the story and such. And there's just so many problems that still persist. And a DLC, by the way, I don't care how good your DLC is, it shouldn't be the only thing
Skibbity
holding up.
toilet
You
and
need
Fortnite.
that main hello. Why did you have to join of all times? The
Skibbity toilet.
Fortnite
Fortnite.
cyberpunk thing is what I'm
I
going
thought you
into.
were skibbity
By the way, you
toilet,
sound like a
bro.
really bad robot. I can barely hear you.
Well, I am talking about skibbity toilet.
Yeah, well, stop it. I'm streaming.
I know, that's why I joined.
Yeah.
I saw the notification and I'm like, oh, he must be talking about skibbity toilet. And then I saw the chat and then I ignored it and
Now
came
you
in and
ruined
talked
my
about skibbity
video.
toilet.
I want
I've
to
been
get
hating
back to
it.
this, but I went over Actman's freaking video on freaking Cyberpunk. Cyberpunk is just a weak aesthetic piece of crap to me. Once again, I did say in the beginning, if you like the game, fine. This is why I think this game does not reach me. And I know I'm pushing it hard, but I don't know. I guess maybe I am trying to push it away from other people's minds because it's what the frick do people see in this game? Seriously. Like you wouldn't have Cyberpunk without fricking Bethesda games and crap too. You gotta think about that. It's pretty much plays like it's trying to be a Bethesda like game anyways, but freaking weaker.
It's
Not
tiny.
everything that it does is bad. I wanted to like it originally, but it's very aesthetically weak. That's the one thing hurting me, and then just all the frickin' flaws in the story and characters for a game that's built up so big. And I can't think of like why people hold CD Projekt Red as these masterminds. Their one series, Witcher, is already adapted from a fricking book, and it's not just like Dark Souls 3, except they at least had Elden Ring, Sekiro, and Bloodborne as well, and Demon Souls. But they have just one game franchise and one game pretty much that finally reached the attention of people, just like Dark Souls 3, that people finally gravitated to the games. Why is CD Projekt Red held up to the same glory of Obsidian and stuff, who made so many more frickin' RPGs in their lineup? Even Bethesda, like people forget the good old days of Morrowind and crap. Like, what the frick is wrong with people when they forget stuff like this? Even they have more games under their frickin' belt with this. And then they make one other game that's not even a series yet. It starts out like crap, and now people praise the fricking hell out of it after a DLC and an update. And I promise you, every time a fricking update happened to that game, even still during COVID, people would not shut the hell up about the game's better now. The game's better now. Frick Cyberpunk. Screw Cyberpunk to hell. Piss on it. It's goddamn corpse. I'd rather play that Hero Wars freaking ad I just made fun of in a previous video recently. Frick that game, frick this game, frick all of you. I know I'm being really harsh. The game pisses me off. I'm sick of seeing it everywhere. It's freaking annoying. It makes no sense why it's everywhere. It is such a
Venting mode
freaking
right
weak
now.
ass, annoying game. It's gotten to the point where it feels way too trendy of a game now. In the same way that Final Fantasy VII used to be, and Resident Evil 4 used to be, even Skyrim, ironically. But those games have a lot more to them aesthetically, to the characters and stuff. I just do not find it when you got characters wearing tank tops and jeans and stuff in this cyberpunk universe with the same goddamn haircuts where their hair swooped on one side and then shaved bald on most of their head, and it's like colorful hair. It's like, can you get another haircut, please? I think even Johnny Silverhand's alternate haircut was doing that in the game, or his
The
alternate
classic,
costume.
the
Like,
classic game where the children look like Pokemon walking the streets.
yeah. It's just such an annoying game to see now. It is such a frustrating game. I would rather a JRPG of the freaking anime. If I had to have anything, a JRPG of the anime. At least that looks aesthetically more pleasing. And I know it's an anime, it's different art style and such, but it looks aesthetically more pleasing. You're probably more invested in that story than you would be freaking Cyberpunk's. Cyberpunk's is just so boring. The freaking, I know a lot of games have the standing around and talking, but this is legitimately standing around and talking. I do not give a crap about, and it freaking sucks. It is just ugh, and I've already gone in freaking depth. Hell, I even found out when I was looking at L321's video, yes, he calls himself that, that there are still bad glitches in that freaking game, even on the strongest hardware. And when they focus on goddamn updates, it's like, where are their priorities? Where are their priorities at? Well, you got freaking Baldur's Gate 3 over here being like, oh, we're going to put crossplay in and all this other stuff. Even the guy made one of the coolest speeches on stage for the Game Awards. Is crossplay, more subclasses. What the frick does Cyberpunk do? Oh, we're gonna put a tram system in, and now we can have you color code cars, uh, maybe more eye colors and stuff. It's stupid. Where are your priorities at? If you're going to do something, bring the multiplayer idea you had back to Cyberpunk. At least maybe I'd play it again.
Yeah,
Bring better outfits in the game. The outfits that are in it freaking suck from what I see. I can look up a wiki page. Hell, I did it for this other video right here. No, no, this one. Sorry. But I did it for this video where I looked at through wiki and such for all the different outfits they have. They are like the Division's freaking outfits. Boring clothing after boring average clothing you see everyday people wear. Isn't this supposed to be cyberpunk? I know you got mantis blades and stuff, but even that stuff's borrowed heavily from something else.
give us like
What the
heavy
frick?
coats and stuff.
I'm just sick of seeing cyberpunk everywhere. Piss off.
Heavy trench coats.
Yeah. Even the freaking coats are boring with the glowing collars. Yeah, that hasn't been done to death in other things. This is cyberpunk. And I know you can mod in flying cars, but that's only on PC as far as I know. What about console? Come on. Why isn't it a freaking thing already? Should have been a freaking thing. When even The Witcher 3 is freaking referencing it. This is freaking stupid. If I was a fan of the tabletop of Cyberpunk, this would be one of the most disgraceful freaking series to that tabletop that I would love. Like BG3, Baldur's Gate 3, that is a great representation of like freaking Dungeons and Dragons. This is like the opposite of the spectrum for me. This doesn't even feel like cyberpunk to me. Not even in the same vein. It focuses once again too hard on the punk side. It needs more of the cyber. Then I would like even the cyber stuff they have when you customize your character and you have like the metal linings or the different colored eyes and stuff, even that stuff looks freaking ugly. Looks so dumb. Like, goddamn, can you get more aesthetically pleasing? Frick. Like, when games like Fallout 3 and even ironically Fortnite have better samurai armor and gear, you're fricking up. And you advertise samurai. You advertise the word alone. It's become a freaking catchphrase meme. And it's you frick it up. What the hell? Some of the lamest outfits and stuff. This is another reason that contributes to why I don't care about exploring this world, why I don't care about collecting anything in this game. Just nothing to be freaking speaks to me. I just don't get why it speaks to other people. I guess almost anything speaks to anybody, but goddamn, this is one of the weakest examples to me to freaking speak to people, and I just can never get it. I can't, like, I got Evil Within, and I hate Evil Within, but I at least got the aesthetic of why people thought it was pleasing. Thanks to stuff like Evil Within 2, even Evil Within 1. They at least had some stuff, even though I felt like they ripped off some stuff too. Just piss on Cyberpunk. Cyber piss. Just like what Manly Review says. Anyways, anyways, I'd stay on the TMBOTC channel. I am sorry that I went so hard on this, so mean. But
It's
goddamn,
even
this game's
funnier.
getting to that point where it's just like it's freaking everywhere. It's getting a freaking annoying. I know those other games are everywhere too, and I hated them back in the day for the same reasons, but I at least love them. Would I ever love Cyberpunk? Maybe one day, but this stuff is certainly not helping. This stuff is certainly not helping. There's so many, and speaking of so many other games, since that's the title of the video, there's so many other games you could cross over. Freaking, where's my Splinter Cell? Where's my Splinter Cell? Where's my Mass Effect? Frick's sake. We need more DC stuff as well. That's not video game, but we need it. Hell, the other better Cyberpunk series, maybe not in the same vein as Cyberpunk, but definitely better in a lot of ways. Deus Ex. Where's my freaking Adam Jensen skin, baby? Where the frick is that stuff? Come on, brah. More Gears of War, more Halo, more just any of that other stuff. Sonic, which I don't know if that would work quite well, but I would rather it. And get freaking Nintendo to finally put some stuff in. Like, tell them to frick off with exclusivity and be like, no, it's going to be in the game on all platforms, so frick you. But seriously, I'm getting sick of seeing this game freaking everywhere. Apparently, the skins are V. Who who cares if it's going to be the generic V on the cover art? Then who gives a crap? And then freaking Johnny Silverhand, which I guess so, but he just looks like Dollar Tree version of Winter Soldier mixed with Rex from Blood Dragon, Far Cry Blood
It's probably
Dragon.
gonna be like generic female V or something.
With the swooped on one side hair again.
Yeah, actually, scratch that. If it's the anime, things might be fine.
Yeah, if it's the anime, that would be cool. I would like to
That's
see that.
actually
But
kind of
from
likely,
what
considering the
they're
fact that
talking
it's
about,
like
they're
a.
saying V and Johnny Silverhand. I hope it's not. I would rather it Edgerunners. Yeah, yeah. I think it trying to be realistic looking actually kind of hurts it too. Like I think it would have been better if it was just straight up like a JRPG game. Because seeing it in the realism cyberpunk look, since they didn't put much effort into the cyber part other than the look of the city, which once again, none of the feel though. It just freaking sucks to me. I just don't care. Now, if you don't mind, I'm gonna go back to watching Brandon Tenold, so piss off. No, I'm just kidding. You have a nice day.